So this is a big thing that I do try to encourage all receptionists to understand. The 4-second rule, it seems quite unfair, but studies do indicate that we form an impression in someone else's mind about us in just 4 seconds. It really doesn't take that long at all. However, we can utilise those 4 seconds really effectively. And the way that we suggest is second number 1, instantly make eye contact. So as quickly as possible that person comes into your awareness, not into your field, but into your awareness, start making eye contact straight away. Because what can happen is I'll wait for the patient to kind of come into the body of the room before I make eye contact, whereas you could be making eye contact the minute they walk through the front door. Second, number 2, smile warmly. Have that be a very instant thing, to be looking at somebody and smiling straight away. Second, number 3, turn your body language to face that patient. So rather than just typing away, that you're instantly turning around. And the 4th second is say a welcoming word or phrase. Just saying welcome is a good thing. And that's a little thing that you might want to, have at your front desk to remind people of second number 1, second number 2, second number 3, and second number 4. And an experiment that I do encourage you to do within your practice. And remember, Meanie, we did this at one of our joint clients that we were doing consulting at, and it was really impactful. I've started doing it since then. I've done it in every practice that I've worked with. And that is, do a role play. No one's around, so you've got all the team members. It doesn't matter how many team members are involved in the role play, because you learn and observe things as the people within the role play and those they're observing the role play. This is particularly powerful to have every team member role play being the patient, because of the impact and impression that we can have upon them. They need to feel that. So in the first role play, act like an acceptable professional receptionist who is busy at the computer, becomes aware of the patient entering, and wait until the patient is close to you before looking up. Smile kindly, but not as warmly as you could, but professionally, and say, hi, how can I help you? So you guys role play the receptionist. Everyone else is going to take turns being the patient. So act busy. I'm doing all my things. Ainsley walks in. I can hear her walk in. She's going to come partway into the room before I look up and go, hi, Ainsley, how are you? What can I do for you? So nothing wrong with what I've done. Then get the same person to go back out the door and come back in. And Ainsley the minute I can hear her come in the front door, I'm looking up. Hi, Ainsley, welcome. And when you give them the difference between the two, it always surprises people that the early acknowledgement of their presence in the room, so that early eye contact, they feel it. And they've got a comparison between the two, so they get the strong impact. And one way is perfectly acceptable, but the other way has got the bells and whistles. The other way is a purely delightful experience. And so I do encourage you to do that role play. Have somebody else do those two separate things for you guys first, so you get to feel that impact, so you can help coach the role play for future. But I think that's a really good way of exhibiting the impact of the first 4 seconds, and how we can put the bells and whistles on and make that highly impactful.
I'd also make sure that every team member knows that, because I've come across DAs sitting out the front doing something they're doing, and they will literally not even look up and acknowledge a patient.
Not my role.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's important that everyone understands that if you're at that front desk, you are all responsible for welcoming the patient in the same way, not just the receptionist who might be on the phone or might be with another patient.
I think that's a beautiful role play in itself. Let's role play having 2 people sitting at reception, one who's not the receptionist, not their role to welcome. And what does it appear like to the patient to have that person who's perfectly capable of connecting with this person, but just not doing it? And so moving different people through that role play, I think that's a great thing. So, and quite often the dental assistant who's sitting out there may go, but I don't know what to say. Okay, well, let's find out what to say. It's how do we make this still a delightful interaction with the patient, even though you're not the one that can provide the solutions to them? And it could be just saying, oh, you caught me having a chat with the receptionist. She won't be too long. My name's Julie. How are you? Can I help you with anything? And so you through the role play, you're determining not just what the impact of not doing anything is. So now let's go that next step and say, what can we do? Let's role play a few different things until everyone's real comfortable with whatever that person can do in that situation. It's such an impactful thing when you're experiencing it in the patient mindset. Mm-hmm. And you think to yourself, oh, but I know the building and the people and stuff, it won't be that impactful. You can easily shift yourself into patient mindset. Mm-hmm. Even when you're role playing how the dentist explains treatment to the patient in the surgery, it's amazing how you can come from the perspective of not knowing anything dental. And you can say, when you're talking about OPG, I don't even know what that means. What is OPG? What does that mean? Mm. When you're talking about, there was one of the situations that crops up in my brain, I think I've mentioned it already in the past, that a new grad dentist said, well, you can see on this x-ray that those wisdom teeth are there, so they have to come out. And the patient's like, why? Like, aren't they teeth? Why would I just take teeth out? And so it indicates that level of explanation that needs to go behind the scenes. And so we can come from that perspective quite easily. Mm. Can you remember that role play that we did at that practice in Clayton?
Yeah. Mm. And it's just the biggest turn off when you walk into any business and you're not acknowledged. It really drives me nuts. Like, I hate them before I've even started. Like,
it's intense.
It does. And, no, but people have this negative thing. So the minute they walk in their door, they're already negative. And then any little thing that happens throughout the process or the appointment, they're more inclined to find the not so good stuff.
Yeah.